As I said, 69% answer is a great day for Josh Allen.
What do you think about that, Josh?
What do you think about that, Josh Allen, joining us right now on the set?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
Everybody's giving you credit for the win.
No,
That's
man.
so unusual for a quarterback, I know.
Our line played outstanding yesterday. Obviously, Smoke had a fantastic day. Our defense played well. Coach Dable called it an amazing game. It was a total team win for sure.
I was going to ask you, what was the thought behind it? What did it mean? What effect did it have, Dayball being upstairs? Any?
I mean, it just allowed him to see some things differently. I think getting kind of a bird's eye view, and especially as an offensive coordinator, easier to see personnel change on the defense, easier to kind of see how they're playing things. On the sideline we get pictures, but it's not the same.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the mechanics of it are Brian talks directly to you, or is Ken Dorsey on the loop there as well, or how do that work?
I mean, when I'm on the field, it's just Dave's in my ear. But when we go on the sideline, Dorsey and Dave's are communicating constantly, so Dorsey's kind of feeding me information, and then if Dave wants to talk to me, he'll call the phone. I'll get on the phone and I'll talk to him. So.
And when you're in the field, it's the 15-second cutoff still, right?
Correct.
Did he go right down to 15 seconds much of the time?
We got our plays in pretty quick yesterday. Yeah. So, he called the plays in very quickly yesterday, and we tried to get out there and try to execute as best as we could.
What did you think of the no huddle, the hurry up?
It was nice. Yeah. It allowed us to make some checks at the line and kind of get ourselves in an advantageous situation there. So, don't know if that's what we're going to continue to do, but, week to week, everything's different, but it worked for us this past week.
Right. Josh Allen, Bills quarterback, in studio with us for a couple of minutes here. The start of the game was big, and we were wondering whether Hauschka's 51-yard field goal sort of set the tone. Everybody's like, okay, we got Hauschka back, let's go, because everything kind of snowballed after that. You went up 13-0, right?
Yeah, no, it was great to see him get back out there and doing what he does, and it was it was a good game for our confidence, I think, and allowed us to kind of get back on track and kind of showed what we can be as long as we go out there and execute. And I think on all three phases we did pretty well.
Josh, how much did you internalize what you said, Sean McDermott said last week, play fearless? How much did you think about that last week and even going into the game yesterday?
I mean, it just kind of gave me a green light to go out there and play free and not to worry about things, not to worry about interceptions, not to worry about, turning the ball over, not to worry about an incompletion here or there. Obviously, there's still a lot of things that I want to clean up and still have to clean up. But I went out there and, put the ball downfield, and, our guys made some plays, and our line blocked tremendously. We had 0 sacks yesterday, which is fantastic. So I owe them something special here pretty soon.
Yeah. Just tell Brian Daboll's gotten some compliments today about the game he called. And I was going to ask you, certainly we saw the team play with a lot of enthusiasm, some kind of fire, and that fearless attitude you talk about. Could you feel the coaching staff maybe turn it up a notch? And if Sean McDermott told you guys to play fearless, do you think he had that same conversation with his coaching staff?
I'm sure he did, but, as an offensive staff, we weren't stressing. We weren't trying to put more pressure on us than we needed to. We wanted to go out there. We wanted to execute how we know we can execute. I don't think anything really changed in that aspect, but it feels good to go out there and put up 37 points against the defense that has been playing well the last 4 or 5 weeks. They really have been. So to go out there and execute and show some promise of what we can be.
A couple of touchdowns to ask you about. Let me ask you first about the first one, the 40-yard pass to Josh Allen. You threw a rope down there. That had to feel pretty good to connect like that.
Huh? We got cover 2 there, and I checked out of what we had, and I told John previously we had that same look to the same play, a quarter earlier. And I said, after seeing some film work and seeing those safeties kind of being nosy, I said, if we get this look again, be ready for it. And luckily we got the same thing. And post snap, I saw them getting to 2, so I wanted to give a little pump fake, and then John did his job and caught the ball and made a man miss and got in the end zone.
Let me skip ahead to the second John Brown touchdown pass where you kind of. You rolled one way and threw it back the other way. That's not an easy. And by the way, that's a kind of a fearless pass to make there, isn't it?
Yeah, you got tipped. It was a little tight, a little small window there, but got the job done. And again, he's in the right spot at the right time. And hopefully, luckily, a little tip didn't bother the pass too much.
Right. Yeah, we were going to ask you too that we got a highlight of you running the ball in on the rollout where you kind of looked around and then you just decided to carry it in. You coming in and the safety's coming down. take us through your thought process. Are you thinking, okay, should I slide? Should I dive? Should I try and avoid the hit? Should I run out of bounds short? And when did you decide, you know what, I'm just going to make this guy take me on and score the touchdown?
Well, if I recall, it was third down.
Yeah.
So at that point, I wanted to get in the end zone, obviously, and give ourselves a touchdown. But, we had a good combination call. They played man coverage to it, and they had a good defensive call to match that. So I took off, and I saw the safety's angle, tried to give him a little hesitation just to slow him down for a second so I can catch the edge there, and luckily got in.
I know the coaching staff and outside observers have talked to you about kind of self-preservation. That doesn't seem to be in play on a run like that, right? You basically sell out, right? You took a hit, actually.
It wasn't a huge hit. I mean, he pushed me a little bit, but it wasn't anything crazy. And, we were running basically the same direction. So when you got that going on, the impact isn't too much. It's when you're running directly at each other in the opposite direction.
Feliciano might have given you a harder hit.
Yeah, I got up and he was right there. He was down there quick.
Don't throw your back out catching a 320-pounder.
Yeah, and we talked about in our meeting today. So
don't do that.
We got to let him know. Just take it easy.
Ty Secchi left the game. The good news is if he's out for a while or even a long while, Cody Ford's stepped in there. I mean, he's played there. It's not like you're throwing somebody new into the breach here.
Yeah, we're all praying for Ty, and I hate to see anybody get hurt, and he's been a big part of our offense. Just stepping in when he needed to, kind of him and Cody going back and forth at that right tackle position. He's been fantastic. His mindset, how he plays. He's aggressive. He's definitely an anchor on the line. He's a big dude too. Right. Holy crap, he's
really big.
So,
I've seen him around.
But it sucks that happens. It's football. We drafted Cody for a reason that high. So, we expect nothing different from him to go out there and play like he did yesterday.
So we have this Twitter poll, and a lot of people are giving you a lot of credit for being the difference. A 17-point win. That's big in the league, right? Mm-hmm. What's the game feel like to you? What do you think after you come off the field? You guys hang 37 on the Dolphins. Whatever their record is, notwithstanding, how does that game feel to you? What did you come out of there saying? I did this better, did this worse, did that? What are your thoughts about your own game and the way that game went Sunday?
I thought we played pretty well. Again, looking at it from my situation, I try not to get too high or too low. Understanding that there was a lot of things that I missed. A couple checks here or there, a couple ball placement issues, some of the shorter stuff, and so I got to tone in on that this week and find more completions there and get our guys the ball in space so they can make some plays.
You talk about getting too high or too low. Steve and I were talking about it last hour. It seems to me that, and you've 21 NFL starts now, but you are judged sometimes on an almost weekly basis by media, by fans even. Oh, yes, great game, he's the guy. Oh, no, he didn't do this, maybe he's not the guy. Yeah, your perspective, it seems to me, is sort of big picture sometimes. Do you care when you hear the weekly, it's like a weekly referendum on how is Josh doing this week?
Listen, you can't make everybody happy, I know that, and I'm not worried about trying to make people happy. I'm trying to put our team in situations and positions to win football games, and that's all I care about.
You seem to do well against the Dolphins. Now, you've got a little record here against the Miami Dolphins, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the warm weather down there. I don't know.
Going forward, Denver Broncos coming in. You got the team a day off from the win yesterday, which is a kind of nice little bonus. You start doing it the second half of the year. It's nice to, the more rest you get, sometimes the better. It heals you up a little better. Going forward, you got Denver Broncos coming in, who jumped out an early lead. And they've got a defense that's almost as good as the one you play with in your own building. What's that say about going forward? I guess you look forward to the challenge.
They got some dudes on that side. They got a lockdown corner over there. Obviously, we know about Von Miller and his success in the last few years in the NFL. One of the most dominant pass rushers in the league. So, we got to be ready. They're coming into our house, and, they suffered a pretty tough loss last week or yesterday. So I'm sure that they're going to be feeling that one, and they're going to be hungry for a win, and they're coming into our place, and they're going to be tuned up. So we got to be ready for that and kind of take care of any shots that they give us early and just roll with the punches, and we got to go out there and execute.
How much fun is this to be 7-3 going into late November now?
It's fun. We want more. We know that. We know what number we typically need to get into the playoffs. So we just got to try to keep stacking wins week in and week out and preparing like we're preparing, not trying to change anything and not trying to do anything drastically different. And kind of came Coach Bull, my coach in Wyoming, said, you dance with you dance with who you brung.
Right.
So try not to do anything different. He's super old school, so shout out Coach Bull. He had a bunch of sayings.
Last question for me. Yesterday, John Brown had a big game. It's probably his biggest as a Bill. He's become you target him more than you target anybody. And I think even the one guy who was calling for him to be signed is Murph. Even before free agency, Murph said, that's the guy we want. He saw him 2 years ago.
I'm a scout.
Right. See, Scott. Give us a little insight on what your ideas are about John. How dependable you think he is. You obviously throw the ball in just about any situation you feel like it, and he's really come through more often than not.
Man, I mean, I can't say enough about the guy. How he prepares, how he attacks each and every day, the type of man that he is, the type of father that he is. I mean, he had a great game yesterday, but he also gave 30-something, 40-something tickets to kids that had good grades over there in Miami. So, I mean, to kind of have that type of person in our locker room, a guy that's just genuinely a good dude, and then he goes out on Sundays and he performs like that. And, he's one of I think everybody can say he's one of their favorite guys on the team just because nobody can say a bad thing about the guy. He's just one of those guys that you love being around, and he can play some dang football, too.
Yeah.
We thank you for coming on. It's Players' Day off. Why are you here? You working? Even?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Meetings?
Some more film work, and got my workout done today. Probably hop in the sauna here in a few minutes and call it a day.
If you stay, we'll turn the heat up.
Yeah. I like that.
Thanks for
Josh.
coming in, man. It's great seeing you.
Appreciate it. Josh Allen, Bills quarterback, joining us. Steve and I coming back with more One Bills Live, presented by Kaleida Health from the Seneca Studio in Orchard Park on Buffalo Bills Radio.